There's an experiment in quantum physics known as Schrodinger's cat, where there's this hypothetical situation where there are radioactive atoms fired in a box with a cat in it. And the theory is that you don't quite know whether when you open the box the cat is going to be alive or dead until you open the box. Basically, things exist in a state of quantum superposition. So technically the cat is both alive and dead until somebody opens the box and sees whether the cat is either alive or dead. What this really means is that we don't know the future until we perceive it. So technically, the future exists in several states of quantum possibility until we tune in to one of those future possibilities. With everything that's going on right now, it's very important to understand that with all these theories and with potential threats and different things that might happen, they're not actually going to happen unless you tune into that as a possibility and really believe that it's going to happen. I think this is super important to understand because what we collectively believe in is what we are most likely to manifest collectively. A lot of people believe in and understand the law of attraction, but for some reason when it comes to the law of attraction on a collective level, we forget that it works in the same way. Your thoughts and your beliefs are creating reality. If everyone were to believe that the world is going to end and project that reality, that would help create the quantum state where that is most likely where we are headed. Yet if everyone believes that we collectively are going to change and create a better society, then that would be the quantum possibility where we would be headed. It can be really hard to conceptualize this, but basically we are collectively dreaming, and everything that happens is a collaborative, collective dream state. There's an author named Bruce Lipton who talks a lot about this in his book called The Placebo Effect, and essentially what you believe without necessarily physical proof can be enough of a factor to override physical realities. So there's several studies where people have taken placebos and healed just as much or more than people taking actual medicines. It's very important that you are very, very vigilant about what you allow to enter your consciousness, especially music, TV, a lot of these things that have morphic energy fields that you might not be aware of having certain influences on you. I used to really love watching scary movies, and I didn't realize till afterwards that those imprints actually can accumulate and stay in your subconscious and somewhat have negative effects. So even though it's entertaining and fun, it's much more important to be conscious of what you allow to imprint in your brain, because those become the mental images that you draw on when you create your beliefs and you create what you're attracting. Likewise, I feel that people should be very selective with what they believe about astrology and human design. A lot of these systems contain a lot of human interpretations, and even if you're getting a really accurate reading, they're only base imprints, and each life you're working towards becoming a new astrology sign and towards learning lessons. So if you stick very strongly with certain identities, it can really hold you back from becoming who you're meant to become. It's very important when you want to stay informed and you're watching news to choose things that are delivered in a partial way. There's a term that's called fear porn, and it basically refers to people's desire to have favorable adrenaline spikes through fear states. A lot of people don't realize it, but we can actually be addicted to fear the same way that we can be addicted to watching scary movies. It's a very similar sensation to falling in love, and it has to do with the release of adrenaline and different hormones that can feel ironically pleasurable. One of the most powerful ways that we experience mass hypnosis is through music and through lyrics and repetition. Not only is this word magic, but through the power of repetition, it really helps to imprint the neural pathways because the brain likes familiarity and repeating patterns because it recognizes it. That's how we operate, is sort of through a template. So you can use this in a positive way to reverse repeating, for example, lyrics that aren't empowering, to really imprinting with a feeling state positive affirmations. I've started to create some very powerful morphic energy hypnosis subliminals, and I'm excited to be sharing that with people. I'm making custom subliminal tapes that you can order on my website that are programmed for any type of issues that you would like to imprint into your consciousness. I guess I've sort of taken something that was dark and turned it into something positive. You can make custom subliminals for anything from your physical appearance to anti-aging to being smarter when you study, convincing your brain to retain more information, attracting more wealth, etc. The most empowering thing about realizing that we're in a dream reality is that when you become awake within the dream, which in ancient Egypt, the word for dream actually means awake, you understand that you can control the dream. You can become a lucid dreamer. A lot of the things we learn are not actually accurate to reality. We might discount dreams and think that it's simply the mind wandering off into random thoughts, but the dream world is actually much more significant than this world, which is the Maya, the illusory world. A lot of hypnosis is based on the power of suggestion, and it's important to use the power of suggestion positively and to also just be very vigilant about what you allow to enter your consciousness. What you can convince yourself to believe is what will manifest, and this goes for the individual and the collective level.